we deem it appropriate to direct the State of Rajasthan to formulate an appropriate and comprehensive policy for the effective implementation of the constitutional mandate relating to the mother tongue based education, particularly in the backdrop of the National Education Policy 2020. The state shall take necessary measures to recognize and accord due status to the Rajasthani language as a local or regional language for educational purposes and to under these circumstances, this court cannot remain a silent spectator to the stark dilution of the rights so clearly recognized in the constitutional text, legislative enactments, and the binding precedents. While it is not the province of this court to enter upon the arena of policy formulation, it is nonetheless its solemn constitutional duty to ensure that the guarantees enshrined in Part 3 of the Constitution are not rendered illusory by executive inaction or indifference. Once the Union has itself, through legislative measures and policy frameworks, acknowledged the necessity of imparting education in a language intelligible to the child, a corresponding obligation arises for the states to take timely, effective, and purposive steps towards its realization. A failure to discharge such obligations cannot be countenanced, for constitutional rights, once recognized, must be translated into tangible outcomes and cannot be permitted to languish as mere abstractions. In the absence of any appropriate policy framework, this court would be failing in its constitutional duty if it were to remain indifferent to the continued non-realization of the rights and obligations so clearly envisaged under the Constitution of India. In light of the aforesaid discussion and having regard to the constitutional scheme, we deem it appropriate to direct the State of Rajasthan to formulate an appropriate and comprehensive policy for the effective implementation of the constitutional mandate relating to the mother tongue based education, particularly in the backdrop of the National Education Policy 2020. The state shall take necessary measures to recognize and accord due status to the Rajasthani language as a local or regional language for educational purposes and to progressively facilitate its adoption as a medium of instruction, initially at the foundational and preparatory stages of schooling and progressively at higher levels in a manner consistent with the constitutional principles and the pedagogical requirements. We may note that Rajasthani is presently being taught as a subject in the universities across the state of Rajasthan, including the Janaran Vyas University, Maharaja Ganga Singh University, University of Rajasthan. Yet, the procrastinating stand consistently taken by the state is that only those languages included in the 8th schedule to the Constitution are being taught as additional languages in government primary and upper primary school. Such a position, in our considered view, discloses an apparent pedantic approach for the academic recognition of Rajasthani at the higher education level itself, belies all the suggestions that the language lacks institutional or pedagogical acceptance. Accordingly, we also direct the state to take affirmative and time-bound steps towards introducing and providing Rajasthani as a subject in all schools, government and private, in a phased and progressive manner consistent with the constitutional and policy framework discussed above. The aforesaid directions are necessitated by the palpable vacuum presently operating in the arena of a significant constitutional importance. The impugned order is set aside and the appeal is allowed. The matter will be listed on 30th September for the compliance.